What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am here bringing you guys um, my first recap video of the series. I'm going to be going over, as you can probably tell from the title, WWE SummerSlam 2016, and I know that this is a Let's Play channel, gaming channel, and back to back you've got two videos of me just sitting down talking to you guys. But why don't you come back tomorrow and I will have my first Let's Play of the channel up. Before we dive into this, I do want to let you guys know that I do have a Twitter account. So if you want to follow me over on Twitter, that'll be the best place so that you guys can get in touch with me and, DM me, all that. That's Instagram, sorry. I'm not very smart when it comes to all that. And also, I want to say before going into this, there were some matches tonight that I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. So if I look over here a lot, it's because I have the SummerSlam results pulled up on my computer so that I know what I'm talking about when I go into this video. So anyway, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, because one thing I hate when I watch a review video, which I want to say that this is not a review, I'm just talking to you guys about what happened, giving my opinion on some of the matches. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't like when people drag on for too long without getting to the topic of the video. So anyway, I know that looks like there were 3 or 4 matches on the pre-show. I didn't watch every single pre-show match, but I tuned in right at the end of Sheamus versus Cesaro, the first match of the Best of 7 series. And since I tuned in at the end of this match, I don't really have a lot to say about it other than Sheamus picked up the win tonight. Let's see. After that first match of the actual show, we had Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens taking on Enzo and Cass. I think this was a pretty good match to start the show off on, set the tone of the night. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens ended up picking up the win tonight. I think that took a lot of people by surprise. I know it took me by surprise. I was expecting Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho to do the job for Enzo and Cass. And yes, I do realize I just had a voice crack there. Try not to roast me too much in the comment section. After that, we had an amazing women's championship match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. This was a really good match. I know that these two had a one-on-one match the night after Battleground where Sasha won the match. Excuse me. Everyone said that match was pretty good. I didn't see that match, but from seeing this match, these two put on a great show, a great match, and Charlotte ended up going over in this match, winning back the women's championship. After that, we had... It's weird because it feels like this was the calm down match, and we usually don't have that too much after a Divas match. Sorry, women's. I know Divas is a term that we don't use a lot anymore when it comes to WWE. But we had the Intercontinental Championship match. We had The Miz putting the title on the line against Apollo Crews. A match that didn't really have a lot of hype, not a lot of build-up, and the match itself, in my opinion, wasn't that good. But Miz ends up winning tonight, retaining. I think that's for the best. The Intercontinental Championship, now that it's on one brand, it needs to be solidified as an important championship, and it needs someone to run with the belt for a while. It can't be something that just gets handed off whenever. So I think it was a good idea for Miz to hold on to the championship tonight. After that, we had AJ Styles versus John Cena. AJ Styles wins the match, and I think it's safe to say he wins the feud here. Cena and AJ Styles had a match at Money in the Bank. AJ Styles won because of interference from the club. Then there was a 6-man tag team match at Battleground with AJ and the club taking on Cena and Enzo and Cass, and Cena's team won, and AJ Styles won this match tonight. I think that's great. John Cena had nothing to gain from winning this match, and I think if you had AJ Styles lose at another pay-per-view, you would have just continued to kill his run in the WWE, and it took so long for him to get here. That's the last thing you want to do. So good on WWE for letting AJ Styles go over tonight and end this feud. Up next, we had Gallows and Anderson taking on The New Day for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And something I forgot to say at the beginning of this video was Jonathan Stewart was back for the second year in a row at SummerSlam to host. I don't know what he adds to the show. At the last SummerSlam, he hit John Cena with a chair and cost him a match with Seth Rollins. And he was in the New Day's corner here tonight. But Big E Langston, Big E is what they're just calling him now. Big E was not supposed to be here tonight because of injury from the ring post-itis, whole thing that they had going on. By the way, the whole doctor thing with Gallows and Anderson, that probably won't last after this feud is over, but I do think that that's a good idea. Give them something extra to do other than just, feud with a New Day. But Big E Langston, he came out at the end of this match. He attacked Gallows and Anderson, ultimately giving Gallows and Anderson the win by disqualification. But since it was by disqualification, the New Day retained the Tag Team Championships. And I honestly thought that the club was going to win the match tonight. I thought that they were going to be the ones to take the titles off of the New Day. But since it was by disqualification, this probably isn't the last time that we will see these two teams come together. And now that Big E is a part of the mix again, I don't know. We had Dean Ambrose taking on Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Championship. I feel like this match was one of the very few matches on tonight's card that actually had some pretty decent build-up to it. And the match, in my opinion, didn't deliver. I honestly thought that we were going to get better out of Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, but I wasn't super blown away by it. I didn't at all go into tonight's pay-per-view expecting these two to have the match of the night by any means, but I expected a lot more than what we got. But Dean Ambrose ended up picking up the win tonight, retaining the championship. I don't think this is going to be the last time we see Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler go together. I think these two are going to feud for a while, and Dolph Ziggler will ultimately get the championship at the end of the feud, maybe WrestleMania. A whole Dolph Ziggler underdog storyline, where in the end he's going to prevail and win the championship, like they did with Daniel Bryan a couple of years ago, except do the same thing with Dolph Ziggler. Then we had the 6-women tag team match between, originally it was supposed to be between Eva Marie, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss taking on Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella. And honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to this match. Replacing Eva Marie, when her music hit, the announcer that does her music said that she was taking a break because fans are crazy and wrestling life is stressful. So replacing her tonight in this 6-woman tag team match was the returning Nikki Bella. And Nikki Bella and Natalya and Alexa Bliss end up winning the match tonight. This match didn't mean a whole lot to me because what are the women on SmackDown really fighting for? To be the top female athlete on the brand? I mean, at least Raw has a women's championship that they're going for, so it makes sense for the women on Raw to be facing each other. It just seems like the women on SmackDown, whenever they have a match, they're not going anywhere. So, it was, I didn't care too much about this match. I left the room to get something to eat, to be honest. Up next, we had the first ever WWE Universal Championship match with Finn Balor going up against Seth Rollins. Just one little quick complaint before I actually go into the match itself. I was a little upset. I didn't watch last Monday's Raw, but I was upset when they gave away the Demon Balor, the Demon King. I was disappointed when they gave that away on free TV because I think it would have got a much bigger pop with the crowd if they would have saved it for tonight. And that's pay-per-views should really be the only place we ever see Finn Balor in his demon uniform. or his setup. Um, and not even at every pay per view, because if you do it at every single pay per view, it'll eventually get old. Maybe at the major four pay per views, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. But tonight we had Finn Balor win, go over Seth Rollins clean. There was a lot of speculation if Gallows and Anderson were going to get involved, reunite the club, but no, we didn't get any of that tonight. We got Finn Balor winning the championship clean over Rollins. A lot of people might say that he's getting pushed to the moon too early because on his first Monday Night Raw, he won a Fatal 4-Way match, and then he beat Roman Reigns in the main event. And this is his third match on the main roster, and he's already won the WWE Universal Championship. Seth Rollins, he's pretty much a veteran at this point. Some people would argue that Seth Rollins would make a better Universal Championship because Finn Balor is a rookie and he's so early into his WWE wrestling career. But, he's a champion. There's not much we can do about it now. We can just sit back and we can see where this takes us. Maybe he's not as bad as... I don't think anyone's really saying Finn Balor is bad. He's a great wrestler. He put on a pretty good... I'm not... was this match of the night, in my opinion? No. AJ Styles and John Cena, in my opinion. That was match of the night. That was a great match. But Finn Balor, definitely not taking anything away from his performance. It was a really good match. Just nothing too crazy for me, to be honest. Up next, we had the United States Championship match between Roman Reigns and Rusev. The match never started because when Roman Reigns made his entrance and when he was trying to get into the ring, Rusev stopped him, and Roman Reigns pretty much laid the smackdown on him. So the match was called off because Rusev was too hurt. So it was just throwaway, and I guess it makes sense because we saw Rusev and Roman Reigns in the main event at last Monday Night's Raw, and I thought that was stupid to give away a pay-per-view match on free television. But if this is what they're going to do with it, because Roman Reigns, I'm sorry, stuttered a little bit. Because Roman Reigns won their main event match on Raw, so a lot of people thought we were just going to get reverse booking tonight, and Rusev was going to win and retain, and he did retain, but not in the way I don't think really anybody thought. And I thought this was a good way to book this match, just a no contest pretty much. And this definitely is not going to be the last time we see Roman Reigns and Rusev competing for the United States Championship. A quick little prediction here, though. I believe Roman Reigns and Rusev are going to they're going to feud for a while, because for the first time in a long time, Roman Reigns is slowly getting over with the crowd again, and I do believe that this feud will ultimately end with Roman Reigns winning the United States Championship. Up next we had, and this is main event, last match of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. This is a match that I didn't care for at all. Going into the match, I had no idea who was going to win, but the build-up, it wasn't much for me, considering they were thrown into a match together simply just because Randy Orton was coming back from being injured for 9 months, and he needed something to do for SummerSlam, and Brock Lesnar can sell tickets like nobody else in WWE, so obviously he needed a match for SummerSlam, and it tied into, these two have never had a major match against each other, so let's just put them together and throw them in the main event. I don't think Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton should have main evented tonight. I think the main event should have went to Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, because I do believe, because the fact that you were debuting a new championship alone is more important than main eventing Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton just for the sake of these are two big names, so let's put them in the main event. I feel like that was kind of a dumb idea. But anyway, Brock Lesnar defeated Randy Orton, TKO, technical knockout. Randy Orton got little to no offense in this match. You had a spot where Brock Lesnar pretty much tossed Randy Orton at the announcer table and he went through it. Randy Orton hit an RKO on another announcer table, and then he hit a second RKO back to back when he got Brock Lesnar back into the ring. But pretty much after that second RKO was the end of the match, where Brock Lesnar just started to beat up on Randy Orton. Orton was pouring blood by the end of the match. Shane McMahon tried to come down to stop the assault, but Shane McMahon was F5'd by Brock Lesnar. So I don't think this is going to be the last time we see Brock Lesnar take on Randy Orton either. I feel like a lot of the matches tonight, a lot of the feuds are just going to continue. Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Sasha Banks, now that she's lost the women's championship, she has a rematch clause. So I feel like we're going to see her compete for the women's championship at least one more time. Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, we'll see that again. AJ Styles and John Cena, I feel like that rivalry has come to an end with AJ Styles going over, unless John Cena wants to say we've only had 2 one-on-one matches, and in one of those one-on-one matches you had an interference to win. I think that'd be pretty out of character for Cena to do that, but you never know. Because when you think about it, what's AJ Styles and John Cena gonna do now? They might have a third one-on-one match just cause. I hope we don't see. I honestly am not that into Apollo Crews. I feel like I should be into Apollo Crews, but I'm just not. Maybe that's my fault. I feel like he should have stayed in NXT longer than he did. But I think that's going to wrap it up here for this video. Twitter link down in the description below. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed what I did. Be sure to come back tomorrow for my first Let's Play, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!